This video is brought to you by Jorge Olivo and Isaiah Cromwell. What is light pollution? We've all heard of air pollution, water pollution, and land pollution, but what about their not well-known cousin, light pollution? Light pollution is the brightening of the sky as a result of excessive artificial lighting, which is a form of light energy that comes from the use of light appliances that we, as a society, have become accustomed to using, such as street lamps, bright signs, and lamps that shine outside people's homes during the night. Light pollution degrades the visibility of stars, affecting more than 80% of the population, alongside harming ecosystems by interfering with organisms' natural night and day cycles by turning night into day. And organisms being affected are those such as birds, bats, and even us humans. Light pollution comes in the components of glare, sky glow, light trespass, and clutter. Now, glare is excessive brightness that causes visual discomfort. Sky glow is the brightening of the night sky over areas that are not inhabited. Light trespass is when light falls where it is not intended or needed. And clutter is the excessive grouping of light sources. Now, personally, my partner and I chose light pollution as our major problem because remember as a youth, going out with our families and going out camping or just in the backyard and looking up at the beautiful night sky, and which has become increasingly harder to do, unfortunately, because of light pollution. And according from a study from science.org, from 2011 to 2021, each year the night sky has become brighter by 9.6% in North America and Europe. Now, there are multiple factors causing light pollution, but the immediate causes come from habits we as a society have adapted and become accustomed to using, including the excessive use of artificial lighting during the night sky, which, as stated previously, come in the form of leaving light appliances on, but also comes in the form of companies' bright signs shining all night to bring in customers, the use of white LEDs, which are intended to mimic sunlight, and have shorter wavelengths that allow light to scatter more easily to unintended places, which is reflected by solid and liquid particles into the atmosphere. Now, ultimate causes are more ingrained into the root of the problem, which include the want and need as a society to see in the dark, whether to feel safe when going out, or to allow the world to keep going after dark, which goes along with the increase of after dark lifestyles, or commonly known as night owls, which people have adopted by turning night into day with the power of light. Overpopulation is also a cause of light pollution, since the increase of population demands an increase of building for residents, which in turn means more light needed for said people to see. Why should we care? Well, as stated previously, more than 80% of the Earth's population lives under sky glow, which in turn disrupts Earth's daily cycle of light and dark, which controls behaviors such as sleep, migration, and hunting. For example, many migratory birds fly by night and use light from the stars and the moon to help them navigate. Due to light pollution, birds have become disoriented over urban and suburban areas and fly into illuminated towers or buildings, thus murdering them. Another example are bats, which are well adapted to hunting at night and avoid illuminated areas, which has become increasingly difficult to do so because of light pollution. Humans are another example, since light pollution suppresses the secretion of melatonin, which our body needs to get to have a good night's sleep and to feel refreshed in the morning, which according to a Harvard study is needed to reactivate and reorganize recently learned material, which increases memory with the added benefit of decreasing symptoms such as depression. Financially speaking, light pollution can also get depressing. The excessive use of lights affect the amount of electricity which generally comes from fossil fuel emissions and thus increasing carbon emissions. According to the US Department of Energy in 2011, about 35% of light is wasted, which is a total of $3 billion worth of energy lost to sky glow each year. About 6 million trees would need to be planted to offset the amount of carbon emissions wasted. Homeowners are wasting more money than they have to due to wasting energy. Luckily, the solution to reducing light pollution can be done by adopting habits which use light effectively. For example, using the least amount of power for an area to be illuminated, closing the blinds and only turning on lights when necessary, placing lights in specific areas instead of a large radius where light can become overly abundant, making sure that any exterior lights are shielded and facing down, using a light sensor that automatically turns off, using lights with orange or yellow tints which have a more relaxing tone since they have a lower wavelength and are less scatterable, and encouraging national and local government agencies to pass and enforce appropriate light control laws such as requiring lights to be facing down to minimize sky glow. Now, our solution would be a mitigation because by implementing habits that conserve light, it is targeting the causes of light pollution. Implementing habits such as using light sensors is a preventative measure to reduce wasting light. And another example is encouraging light control laws to pass because it will also reduce the light wasted with the added benefit of reducing energy waste and electricity bills. Now, the major obstacles in implementing our positive response are the lack of awareness of light pollution due to it being overshadowed by other problems such as air, water, and land pollution, which are important, but may be overcome by bringing the discourse about light pollution into the light and informing property owners about the waste of energy increasing their electric bill. Now, another obstacle is the low cost of buying blue light LED light bulbs, which is tempting, but may be solved by implementing energy-saving habits to make up for the yellow tint LEDs, which may be costly. And finally, the 24/7 lifestyle society has become accustomed to, which can be remedied, but not completely solved, by placing billboards that spread information about the issue of light pollution in order to persuade the nightly goers to adopt light-conserving methods that not only help the ecosystems but also improve their own personal sleep and their electricity bill.